Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Ronan's Den. I'm Steve. As always, I'm joined by my co host, Eric. And today we are doing another Fabula Ultima class breakdown. Today we are going to be looking at the Dancer. The Dancer is what it says. You are the acrobat, the jester, the swashbuckler. You wow the crowd and the enemy with your ability to move rhythmically. What are your initial thoughts of the Dancer, Eric?
It's a neat support class to give yourself a little bit of extra utility. I don't know if I would build around it entirely, but if you're making a support character, I think it's a pretty cool addition to your build.
All right. The Dancer, as with every class in Fabula Ultima, you get a couple of free benefits. With the Dancer, you only get one. You permanently increase your maximum hit points or your mind points by 5. Your choice. Pretty straightforward. You get 5 extra mind or health. The Dancer skills, the first one is Dance. Each time you take this skill, you learn a dance. On your turn during a conflict scene, if you have no martial armor equipped, you may spend 10 mind points to perform a dance you have learned. This does not require an action, but it can only be done before or after an action, and only once per turn. If you already performed a different dance during your previous turn in this scene, the cost of the new dance is reduced by 5 mind points. Some dances are instantaneous and resolve immediately, while others have effects that last until the start of your next turn. If you're not taking this, why did you take this class? I feel like I say this about a lot of the classes that we cover, but this is the bread and butter of this class. This is what it is, what it does.
Yeah, no notes. Dances are basically spells, but without having to resolve through spell mechanics. They just
Yep.
they just are. They just happen. You pay the cost and they go off. The next skill is called Follow My Lead. When you perform a dance with a duration of until the start of your next turn, you may spend 10 additional mind points. If you do, choose one ally you can see towards whom you have a bond of affection. Apply the benefits of the dance to that ally as well as yourself. The benefits still last until the start of your next turn. So you can extend these buffs, because some of these dances are buffs, you can send them off to your party members. Pretty neat for a support class.
Yeah. Essentially, you just for paying double the cost of the dance, you give it to someone else. It's supporty. It's awesome. I think the theme is that you are picking a dance partner and dancing around the battlefield with them, which is kind of interesting. Brings me back to that like at World's End scene of Pirates of the Caribbean where
Yeah.
Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann are like fighting but also getting married. It's that kind of theme. The next one is frenetic footwork. I have no clue what frenetic means, but okay. Frenetic footwork. After you perform a dance with a duration of until the start of your next turn, you gain a bonus equal to skill level times 2 to all opposed checks that rely on acrobatics, coordination, or speed until the start of your next turn.
This is one of those weird
I don't
skills that you're going to have to negotiate with the storyteller, I think.
I don't know like how this would come up. Like this is one of those weird skills that just feels like it's more of a role play thing and it just seems out of place to me. I'm sure that the comments will tell us how we're wrong and give us a bunch of ways because that seems to happen when we have instances like this. But yeah, I don't really see a use for this.
And thank you for pointing those issues out when we were wrong, by the way. They definitely
Oh
help
yeah,
us
we
out.
really appreciate you, but you do you point us out our flaws real quick.
Yeah, with this one, it just seems like that skill that you're gonna have to negotiate with with the storyteller. Like, hey, I know I'm trying to do this thing. Would you agree that it affects acrobatics, coordination, or speed? I really want to use my frenetic footwork bonus here. I don't know. Quick change. After you perform a dance, you may perform the equipment action for free. Situationally beneficial at best.
Yeah. But also remember that the equipment action and the inventory action are different. So this isn't like using a potion or throwing a bomb. This is using equipment actions, which are
Changing weapons.
situationally beneficial.
Yeah. Changing your
Yeah,
weapons.
it's yeah, so no negative, just situational. Then finally, War Dancer. War Dancer, after you perform a dance, your attacks with brawling, dagger, flail, and thrown weapons deals skill level extra damage until the start of your next turn. If you have an arcane weapon equipped, offensive spells you cast deal skill level extra damage until the start of your next turn. No negative here. This is just literally you make your attacks stronger, you make your spells stronger. You cannot go wrong by taking this. You just hit harder, do more damage, your spells do more damage. If you max this out to 5 and you're using a spell that is the enemy is vulnerable to, that is 10 more damage instead of 5. No notes. This is just a really good skill.
Honestly, if I was making a dancer, I would pair dances with War Dancer as my main building points, especially when here, let's take a look at a couple of these dances. We're not going to go through the full list because there's a lot of them. But something like Angel Dance, where you get to choose an option. You gain resistance to light damage, or all damage dealt by your attacks also becomes light. Oh, I'm sorry, attacks and spells. So pair that up with War Dancer. Something like this is hugely beneficial.
Yeah, and if you take enough of the dances, because like Bat Dance does dark damage, Golem Dance does bolt, Griffin Dance does air. Some of these do damages, so you could really build a damage build out with this. There's also some other ones that like Hydra Dance. After you suffer damage, choose one option. You recover 5 hit points or you recover 5 mind points. There's just a lot of really good options in the dances, and pairing it with War Dance could be really, really clutch, or it could just be something extra to add on. I could see Dancer really going with any kind of build, except the kicker is you can't do the dances with martial armor. So it does limit you there a little bit. But I could see this going really well with an elementalist. I could see this going really well with a spiritist,
Fury.
entropist,
Fury.
a fury. There's a lot of options that the dancer does well. I think I agree with you when you said it's not something I would build as my central focus, but like later on in the levels, throwing a couple levels of dancer in just to get a little bit of extra buffs. War Dancer being kind of that way to build up your strength a little bit. It's a quality class. I have no negatives about it, and that's my final thoughts on it.
No, I agree. No negatives on it. I think it's a nice addition to any utility you might want to be adding that you might be missing on your current build. But yeah, that's our look at the dancer. Keep your eyes open. We're going to be continuing our Capiterra games every other Saturday. We are doing our Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition Night Below bi-weekly on Mondays as well. And we will catch you again on the next video. Take care.